In the harsh environment of Dust Sector 4, botanist Kalen Vane managed to cultivate something extraordinary. His heirloom lumina-fruit generated a massive 6.8 million credit harvest for the colony, only for his success to be wiped out in an instant. Instead of paying out his rightful share of that massive harvest, local leadership handed him a tiny fraction of the profits and officially exiled him from the sector he had just enriched. The colony's bosses decided to completely replace Kalen's soil-based agriculture with a data-driven synthetic method pushed by an off-world corporation called Omni-Yield Synthetics. This chart shows exactly why the colony abandoned him. Compared to Kalen's baseline harvest, Omni-Yield promised a massive 11.4 million credit return, a projection so staggering it convinced Kalen's own partner to align with the corporate executives. By casting Kalen out, Dust Sector 4 effectively traded generations of local biological research for the promise of an automated, exponential growth they couldn't actually verify. Kalen relocated to Verdant Sector 9. Using century-old, handwritten organic records passed down through his family, he started over from scratch in the dirt. Because he respected the soil and his heritage, his new harvest was flawless. The pure taste and quality of his heirloom fruit immediately triggered a frantic bidding war among the planetary elite. This line graph tracks Kalen's organic crop. Demand drove the price to an astonishing 41,500 credits. But look at this second line, representing Omni-Yield's synthetic harvest. The lab-grown fruit was toxic, causing distribution contracts to evaporate as their market value plummeted to zero. Biological quality cannot be coded into a spreadsheet. Cultivating true agricultural value requires time, patience, and a deep environmental synergy that corporate algorithms simply cannot simulate. Facing total ruin, the leaders back in Dust Sector 4 resorted to physical sabotage. They illegally dammed the region's central hydro canal, violently slamming shut the gates to cut off the water supply to Kalen's thriving operation. Kalen and his farmhands marched straight to the blockade, resulting in a highly tense, physical standoff against the colony's corporate enforcers. Before violence could break out, regional authorities arrived on the scene, verified that the blockade was illegal, and immediately ordered the water flowing again. By choking the canal, the colony's leadership prioritized the survival of their failing corporate contract over the actual health of the region's crops. An investigation into Omni-Yield's internal ledgers revealed a company built entirely on debt cycles and misdirection, functioning as a financial shell game designed for wealth extraction. This flowchart illustrates the grift. They drained 9.4 million credits from local savings, combined it with a 500,000 credit leadership kickback, and funneled everything into an untraceable off-world account. Within months, Dust Sector 4 was completely bankrupt, and the corporate liaisons vanished. The law eventually caught up with the local facilitators. The corrupt leadership that drove Kalen out was convicted of embezzlement and handed a harsh 12-year penal sentence. Agrarian scams like this always collapse because they are built purely on siphoning existing capital out of a community rather than generating actual value. While his former partners rot in prison and their sector quite literally turns to dust, Kalen now stands at the head of a highly lucrative, sustainable agricultural empire. Digital projections and synthetic contracts are easily manufactured, but the deep roots of a healthy crop and a healthy community cannot be faked. True, lasting wealth is only forged through a deep reverence for heritage and the environment. The pursuit of hollow industrial shortcuts leaves you with exactly that, nothing but dust.